Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. Here in front of Mount Taranaki, situated amongst the Maori sacred tarns, I dedicate this practice to our relationship to the land. How often do you go about your day without considering the earth beneath you? How frequently do you take strides without thinking about the heartbreaking or beautiful steps once taken right where your feet land? I request that following our time together here, you consider looking into the history of the land you occupy or call home today, and then consider how you can honor its past. Because when we know better, we can do better. Getting started here in our yoga practice, I invite you into a tall, comfortable seated position. Allow your sit bones to root evenly, your spine to lengthen, and your breath to begin coming and going through your nose. Allow your body to inflate more fully, your lungs to expand with every inhale. And notice and feel the softness that arises with every breath that goes. Begin to connect to this anchor of your practice, breathing in as thoughtfully and thoroughly as you can, expanding and releasing as mindfully as possible for you here today. When you finish your next exhale, bring some movement into the body. Allow yourself to breathe it all out, and then take a great big breath in as you flutter the eyelids open, reach the palms up overhead, breathing out hands to heart center. Finding 2 more at your own slowest pace. How much air and space can you take up here? When your 3 are complete, leading from the heart in today's practice, we'll open the arms to cactus. Palms face forward, chest shines ahead. Tall in your spine for 3 big breaths. As your 3rd exhale leaves your body, release the arms down and move yourself into a twist. Right hand behind you, left hand onto your right thigh. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to coil. For 3 rounds of breath on the right side. Before eventually rotating yourself over towards the left, taking 3 deep breaths in and out as you allow this rotation into your center body. Eventually inhaling yourself to a tabletop position where you allow the hips to sway from right to left. Scan yourself as you continue to breathe in and out, and then perhaps you start to welcome little bits of movement into the spine. Inhaling and exhaling through our cats and cows in a way that serves you here today. Toes can be tucked or untucked, keeping a gentle or deep bend into the elbows. Exhaling to curve the spine up, tucking the chin in. Inhaling to lower the navel. Perhaps taking 1 more round of each. Before meeting in tabletop position, reaching the right leg behind you, softening into your hip with any movements that feel good, before stepping the right foot all the way through. Either coming to your full crescent lunge base or allowing it to be softer, left knee down to the earth. Eventually, from whatever base you've chosen, breathe in to reach the arms high, gaze ahead. Draw the shoulder blades soft and low down the spine, root in evenly to both feet, hips shine forward. We're here for 5 breaths this first round, beginning to build fire within our body. Explore your breath as it moves through you. Using your next exhale to bring the hands down to the earth, lowering the left knee, and then we'll find a twist. Hands to heart center, left elbow catches the right thigh as you take 5 full breaths in and out, rotating from the core. Using your exhales to find deeper softness, allow this breath out to bring you further into your twist, allowing your inhales to lengthen through your spine. Using your next exhale, transitioning your way to Warrior 2, lifting your torso up with right leg forward, left leg behind you, arms to your T-shape, gaze ahead for 5 big breaths. Going through everything just twice today, this first visit, to find these shapes in our body before coming back a second round to find a little more fire. From your warrior two straightening into your front leg, we transition to triangle pose. With your left arm and gaze high, right arm is either supported by a block or hovering to generate more heat within the body. Hips and shoulders are stacked and breath is strong. Using an exhale breath, bring your hands down to the earth and then step yourself back to your tabletop position, where perhaps you move through a few more cats and cows or whatever movements your body most desires to rebound here. With your next exhale, returning to tabletop, sending the left leg long and behind you, preparing into the hip, making big circles if that feels good, before stepping the foot through to set up for your variation of a lunge, either low with the right knee to the earth or back leg intentionally strong and knee lifted. Arms are high, gaze is forward, hips face ahead, and 5 breaths move through you. Using your 5th exhale to soften the hands down to the earth. With the right knee on the ground, bring your hands to heart center and start to twist. Right elbow catches onto the left thigh, pressing the palms into one another, using your exhale breaths to soften you further. Coming out of your twist, transitioning to warrior two, using an inhale to lift you up, exhaling to sink into this pose, exploring in your body the strength that is available as 5 full breaths move through you. An inhale takes you into triangle pose, straightening into the front leg, left arm down, right arm up. Option to hover the bottom hand or support it on the ground or on a block, doing your best to stack in your hips and shoulders. And from our triangle pose, we transition to the center of our mat, finding frog, a yin pose that has the knees and hips aligned, a flexion into the feet and shins parallel to one another. A deep stretch into the groin if it feels good in your body. Allow the forearms to soften onto the mat and your eyes to gently shut. Here for approximately 10 breaths. Allow this deep release into your lower body to feel safe but purposeful, ensuring that when you can, you invite softness with your exhales. Inviting an inhale breath to lift you back to your hands, transitioning to your tabletop position, where you freely move in your body in a way that serves you, following that yin position. Getting ready to set up for our second visit through those poses. Inhale, the right leg lifts, rotating and rounding into the hip, stepping your right foot through. Again, option for low or full crescent lunge here as we hold for 10 breaths. Drawing into your focus, your strong connection to inhales and exhales. Here, just one time for 10 rounds of breath, can you find the strength, the fire, to go a little bit deeper? Amazing work. From here we find our twist. Option this time to keep the back leg lifted or lower it to the earth. Left elbow catches the right thigh, palms together. 10 inhales, 10 exhales. If choosing to keep that back leg lifted, I encourage you to fire up in the thigh, ensure that the muscles are still working. If at any point you need a little bit more support, very gently lower the left leg to the earth. With an exhale breath, begin to transition your way to Warrior Two, acknowledging the work that has been done into the right thigh. Sink as deeply as you can for this second and final visit, for 10 rounds of inhales and 10 generous and slow exhales. It has been said in yoga that the moment you want to come out of a pose is the moment you are truly in it. See if you can stay for just a bit longer before celebrating into your triangle pose, straightening in that front leg. Right arm lowers down, left arm lifts high. With that choice to hover the bottom hand or use the support that is available to you as we take 10 full breaths. Amazing work, allowing your hands to come down to the mat. We set up for pigeon pose on the right side. Right knee is behind your right wrist, shin on an angle, left leg really long, toes untucked, a smile on your face as you take 10 breaths in and out, rewarding your right side for all that hard, beautiful work. When you feel complete on this side, transitioning your way back to tabletop and freely moving through any motions or poses that feel good for you before setting up on the left side. Left hip is prepared before stepping the left foot down towards the front. Back toes are tucked. Are you lifting into your full crescent lunge or keeping that support? With the fullness in your breath, we stay here for 10 intentional inhales and 10 softening and mindful exhales. And as we did on the other side, using your next exhale to twist. Are you choosing to have the back leg hovering, or is it down on the ground for some additional support? Either way, invite your exhales to twist you deeper and your inhales to bring greater length to your backside. Using a breath out from here, transitioning to your Warrior Two. Left leg is feeling this effort, this work, staying here for 10 strong and intentional breaths, finding that fire and breath within you. Inviting an inhale to straighten into your front leg, finding triangle pose for 10 inhales and 10 exhales. Using your next breath out to begin softening into your pigeon pose on the left. Left knee to left wrist, right foot towards the right side. Hips are square to the earth. Perhaps you close down the eyes and find 10 intentional breaths coming and going through your body. With an inhale breath, lifting yourself from your pigeon pose to a downward facing dog. Hips are high, gazing between the shins. You can choose to stay in this pose to breathe and hold, or walk your way to the top of your mat, coming into a chair position, sinking your tailbone low, arms lift high, rooted into your feet. Option to come into eagle pose with me here just once. Right arm under the left, palms pressing into one another. Right leg sweeps on top of the left into a cross-legged position, sinking as deeply as you can. Hips are squared forward, shoulder blades feeling the stretch, keeping your elbows lifted for one more breath. And then using an exhale to fold yourself forward. With your next inhale, sitting back into your chair pose, perhaps preparing for eagle on the other side. Left arm underneath the right, left leg on top of the right. Gazing between the hands, elbows stay high, sink a little deeper into your seat, dial into that focus, and use your next exhale to release. Placing your hands back down to your mat, stepping your feet behind you for one more visit to downward facing dog in this beautiful upside down V shape. Stay for a full inhale and then exhale before softening to your tabletop. Maybe moving like I am here through a few rounds of cats and cows before coming to your backside, drawing the knees in towards the chest. Beginning to prepare mentally for our Shavasana pose, what shape would feel best in your body today. Maybe you allow the hands, the palms to face upwards, receiving energy, or maybe connecting a little deeper to your breath and body, the fire within you, palms rest softly face down on your stomach. Allow your inhales to move through you intentionally from toes to fingers, and your exhales to wash over you, embracing this soft sensation, backside melting into the earth. Very gently and softly, when you are ready, bring movement to your fingers and toes. Maybe you reach the arms overhead, lengthening. before finding a soft position on your side as you begin to transition your way to a comfortable upright seated position. Bringing palms to touch in front of heart center, honoring your breath and your body, and giving thanks to the earth beneath you. Namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's practice, very much inspired by this stunning landscape I had the privilege to visit. If you'd like to learn more about this place, I have put a link into this video's description and would love to hear from you about any meaningful piece of land or experience you have had the privilege of learning more about. Until we meet again next time, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better.